In this video, I'm gonna show how I implemented the basic features of a grid tactics game in my own prototype and ideas on how to get started with your own tactics project. I want to keep this video short, so what I'm going to do is introduce each component one by one, share the idea that I used, and show the main scripts. If you're interested in learning more about how each component functions or want to play around with the project yourself, there is a GitHub link to the Unity project down below. Feel free to use it in your own game if it can help. Now, without further ado, these are the 5 essential components. Number 1, the grid. Number 2, how to move units around and let them attack. Number 3, the turn system and the game manager. Number 4, how the enemy AI works. And number 5, scriptable units to load different units' data, both heroes and enemies. So the number 1 component would definitely be the grid. The grid is managed by a dedicated script called Grid Manager, which creates the grid and has some function to interact with it. The Grid Manager instantiates an array of tiles with an X and Y coordinate. For each tile, it then assigns a type of tile, for example mountain tile or grassland tile, and a random height, just to basically give a feel to the game and to separate each tile from the next one. For the demo, I only made 2 types, but you can make more if needed in your game. Each tile also has a set of functions, such as set unit to the tile, and a set of variables to define characteristics about each tile. For example, the grassland tile will be walkable, while the mountain tile will not. Next up, movement. What you want movement to do is basically move units from one tile to the next. So you want to change the variable occupied unit of each tile that we described in the previous step. To do this, we use a specific script called Movement Manager, which mainly returns a set of tiles that the unit can move to. For this, we use a BFS algorithm, which stands for Breadth First Search, and in short, it returns all the tiles reachable by that unit in a specific amount of steps. In this case, the specific speed of that unit. At number 3, we have the turn system. Now the game is handled by a game manager script, which handles the main phases of the game. What this does, and this is really important, it tells all the other script which phase of the game we are in. Now in each phase, actions are carried out as asynchronous functions, so we can wait for units to basically finish their action until we start the next one. This was really important. I also tried to implement these with the more traditional coroutine. However, it didn't work out for me, as I could not check when the specific coroutine stopped, or at least I could not check it without creating thousands of small variables that sometimes didn't even work. So also check out asynchronous functions if you are having a similar problem. Okay, at number 4, and one of the hardest steps in the whole project, is the enemy AI. What the enemy AI manager script does is it looks through all the enemy units in a list, and for each one it checks if out of all tiles in a certain range there is a player unit basically. If there is, it then finds the closest and it moves as close as possible to that unit, knowing the enemy speed value. At the end of the movement, then the enemy unit checks if the player is in the attack range, and if yes, it proceeds to attack it, else it ends the turn. Okay, so last step I will explain how I managed to load different types of units, both player and enemy, on one single prefab. What I did, I used scriptable units that I equipped with all useful data about that specific unit. For example, we have name, the 3D model attached to it. In the project we have cylinders and cubes, but in a full-fledged game you will have different characters. And then it also has all the attack, speed and health values. Then a unit manager script that is outside of the scriptable unit, and this is very important, loads up a set number of them and places them on both sides of the map. On the left one we place players, and on the right we place enemy units. In my project I had 10 heroes and 10 enemies, but you can change this number at will. Okay, so there is still a lot more stuff to this project that I didn't cover in this video. Unfortunately, time is running short. So if you are interested in learning about more stuff or need any help with the GitHub code, let me know in the comments. I will be happy to answer it. So first of all, I know the video quality isn't really all that great. There is still definitely room for improvement, both in the YouTube side and game development side. I want to continue this journey I'm very passionate about. I already have an idea for a game I hope to be able to publish in the future, and I want to document the development and a lot of game dev stuff on this channel. So subscribe and like the video if you found it helpful or interesting. It would really help. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.